In this video, I'll be talking about the importance of the founding documents on American politics today. I'll go over the three most important documents, why they're important, and how to implicate these ideologies into your life. The first document is the Declaration of Independence, the formal break from Britain. The Declaration of Independence was primarily created by Thomas Jefferson, with many other framers working on it as well. It was drafted in 1776 and released the same year on July 4th, which is now Independence Day. It serves two purposes. It justifies why the Americans declared independence from Great Britain. When they left Britain, after all the fighting that they had to do to finally gain independence, they felt that they owed it to the world to explain the reasoning behind the secession of the original 13 colonies. Its other purpose is actually an indictment of King George III. See, under colonial rule, the 13 colonies were experiencing much taxation without representation. They were experiencing extreme tyranny from a foreign government. So when they were finally free, they wanted to highlight the crimes that were committed by King George III during his 60-year reign as monarch. The next document is the Articles of Confederation, and probably the least talked about document. The Articles were ratified in 1781, and it was the first body of government after British colonial rule. What's emphasized by historians everywhere is that the original 13 colonies were terrified of more tyranny by a government body, so in this government, there would be very limited central control. The problem with that is that nothing could actually be done. The government couldn't create taxes, so they couldn't raise money, and they also couldn't create any armies or raise any armies. And the voting system made it even if 10 of the 13 colonies voted on a policy, but 3 of them disagreed, the policy just couldn't pass. This leads me to the final document of our 3 founding documents, the Constitution, ratified in 1788. This was the most important and controversial document of American history. To keep it short, the new idea of the Constitution was that a central government could have power like the British Parliament, except it was controlled by the population of the citizens in the colony rather than the British nobility or people alike. The reason why these documents are important is because the entire framework behind the type of policies that get passed in Congress today are based on them. The Declaration of Independence has one of the most important sentences that we will ever know as Americans. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Today that sentence sounds normal, but in the past it wasn't agreed upon. It was the start of democratic ideologies spreading across the West. We might still have been under some type of colonial rule today if the original farmers, Puritans, and immigrants that moved here hadn't pushed for these new forms of government. But the most important thing about the founding documents is that they tell you what America is actually for. A lot of people disagree nowadays on what America is in 2026, but what America is a country of liberty for Americans, governed by Americans in the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. I urge you to learn about the founding documents. At first it looks very hard, but you don't have to learn about them in traditional ways. You don't have to read actual text. You can go to Khan Academy or YouTube and watch video essays that are just as helpful as reading the real documents so that you could have the correct influence on your decisions about politics. Thank you for watching.